Hello, my name is Chelsea Pepper, and today I'll be going over my topic of study, which includes the effects of classroom strategies on English language learners, close readings, global texts, and picture books. To briefly go over my professional background, it primarily takes place in an education setting. I have been fortunate enough to be a kindergarten teacher's assistant, an instructional assistant, a substitute teacher, as well as complete my student teaching in Southern California at the same elementary school in grades 1 and 5. My research topic for my topic of study specifically looks at 3 strategies that can be used to benefit English language learners. And those 3 strategies are the use of global texts, picture books, and close readings. And the research topic and the purpose of the research topic is to apply the research of using these strategies in one classroom juxtaposed to another classroom in the same grade level to see if these specific strategies are not only pragmatic but beneficial to English language learners in helping them access the necessary tools that they can use to find meaning in text. So, why investigate this topic and why I thought that this topic needed looking into? As an aspiring educator, I understand that English language learners are coming, their numbers are growing, they're not going down. And to best be able to support them, understanding strategies that work and are research tested is the best way to go about helping these students. And firstly, looking at the mindset of it and understanding that these students are deserving of an investment in resources as opposed to taking up resources is an important start, as well as looking at what those resources actually look like. And this research looks to prove that global texts and providing more information on global texts in the classroom will support our English language learners, as it will illuminate various cultures and help our English language learners see themselves and their cultures identified in texts, which will motivate learning, as well as by incorporating picture books and close reading strategies. All students, including ELLs, can fully participate in whole group settings without added modifications or variations in text that vary from their English-only peers. And this allows a comfortable setting in the classroom so that all students, whether they're emerging, bridging, or expanding English language learners, are working on the same text and pulling meaning from the same text as their peers, allowing for a better sense of feeling comfortable in the classroom, aiding to the overall learning taking place as well. My research questions for this study include: how does the use of global texts, close readings, and picture books support English language learners' acquisition of academic language and accessibility to explore text meaningfully and at grade level? As well as, why is multiculturalism important in the contemporary classroom? And how the data collection process goes along with these questions is that by doing a year-long ethnographic study and by recording various interactions between students, one-to-one workings with peers, working with teachers, and by using specific text-guided question student response forms, over the course of a year, we can look at these students, specifically our English language learners, and seeing if these specific strategies help them acquire academic language at a higher or faster rate than their peers who are not using these strategies. And that is the main premise of this research and the question we're looking at and how we go about solving this question. This study looks to find the answers to the research questions by using various tools. Firstly, by the taking of field notes, recording interactions within the classroom, providing text-guided question student response forms, providing picture books, global texts, and of course the support of a grade level team and focusing on one specific grade level. The review of the data, once we have taken in all of our recordings and looked at the data, we will be able to then look for patterns, and these patterns may include shifts in the way that the teachers are thinking and then going about changing their practices as it's related to their ELLs, becoming designers of meaning by employing intertextuality, by connecting text in class to texts they know. And the research hopes to prove that by using these global texts, students will be able to make more connections as a result of using texts that bring in various cultures and helps them see themselves or see their peers in them and be able to make more meaning of the text and overall provide a better source for learning. And then finally, analyzing the data would look like reviewing the forms and allowing researchers to document the meaning students are making after the completion of a text, as well as juxtaposing that data to the work that students are doing in other classrooms where the researchers are not, where global texts and picture books are not being used, and where students are using what was given and provided by the district, by the site, and seeing if there is a large difference between the research-based classroom that was being provided these resources and these strategies that the research suggests compared to those students who do not have those resources. And then looking to finding the answers to the research questions from there. The resources used for this research came primarily from using the National University Library and looking at two specific databases, which include EBSCOhost and ProQuest, where all of these resources for this research were found, including the 6 primary resources listed on this slide, which really guided the current research and methodology that I'm proposing, as well as through the help of my critical friend in this process, who not only provided me feedback and read through my previous assignments, but kind of gave me tips and helped me get to these final steps and stages were all very beneficial in guiding this research. The methodology for this year-long ethnographic study starts with getting approval from a principal who would allow the research to be taking place in a particular grade level where all teachers would be initially given an overview of what the research would look like and explain that half of them would be receiving resources and would actually be partaking in the research by being given bins of books with class sets of books for their students so that the research team can help the teacher implement global texts, picture books, and close reading strategies so that at the end of that year-long ethnographic study, we can juxtapose the academic language acquisition and overall ability of ELLs to pull meaning out of text compared to those students in the same grade level who were not given the resources provided by the research team and who primarily used the resources provided by their teachers in their districts, and collecting that data and analyzing it and seeing that if these 3 specific strategies are applied, that those English language learners, for lack of a better word, thrived more so than their peers in the other class to prove that these strategies are pragmatic and overall effective.
If I could travel back in time and advise myself to do things differently in regards to the research, I would specifically look at the organization and how specific global text or picture books were implemented. For example, if the educator of the classroom was focusing on a theme about community, I would work hard to find a text that also incorporated that theme to ensure that the cohesiveness of the classroom was not affected by the text we were choosing to see out our research. Also, I would look at time management a little bit differently. I would ask that all those involved in the research could come together on a Google Calendar. That way we can all visually see each other's schedules and allow for our meetings to take place without a large number of absences, to ensure that the proper discussion is taking place at these meetings throughout this year-long research, and so that we get all the voices involved and everyone that is included in the research has the opportunity to share their thoughts on the continuation of the research. Thank you for listening to my overview of my topic of study for my research project. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope the research proves to be pragmatic and effective for all English language learners.